lovers. Your girl, Sarah B. here for another beautiful, wonderful, amazing episode of The Sarah B. Show. That's right. If I sound a little happier than normal, it is because I'm not going to lie, I've had a couple of cocktails, y'all. My boyfriend, El Teco, a.k.a. John, a.k.a. Jonathan Ramirez, a.k.a. Johnny Rams. That's my favorite name for him. We went to check out a new barbecue place. It's called Oaked, O-A-K''D, that opened up near our place, and apparently it's really good. We went for their happy hour, had a couple of drinks, had these stacked fries. Oh my God, they were steak fries with like a chipotle aioli, smoked brisket that like melted in your mouth like butter. Oh my God, it was so good. Cilantro, yum, and a couple different barbecue sauces. Damn, it was so yum. And I had a couple drinks. So I'm a little loosey-goosey right now. But I digress, y'all. We are here today to do a Q&A, our first one ever. I put out a little alert saying, ask me anything, dirty, clean, whatever the case may be, and I will answer. I'm going to try to do these every couple of months, and it should be a good time. Yeah, so let's jump into it right now, right? Sarah B. Show, our very first Q&A.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
All right, before we get into the Q&A completely, I just want to tell you guys about a couple of new things. Once again, I want to mention my website, sarahbshow.com. You can go there and you can actually leave a voicemail. I just found that out. What a cool thing on my website that I didn't even know I had. You can leave a voicemail. I could play it on my show, just leaving a comment, a thought, an opinion, asking a question, whatever the case may be. You can leave a voicemail on there. It's pretty cool. You can also leave a question, a comment by text anonymously or your name. That's how I'm doing a few of these Q&As today. It's pretty cool. And check out the sarahbshow.com website. You can listen to all my podcasts there, the old ones and the new ones. They upload as soon as I put them on Spotify, and they are dispersed everywhere. And once again, I am also on Apple now, and iHeart and Google Podcasts. Everywhere you can find your podcasts, the Sarah B Show is available. I was so tipsy right now, you guys. I literally thought it'd be a great idea to have a couple drinks before I came in, but dang, those drinks were strong. New bartenders, heavy pours. It is what it is. Another thing we're doing new is Kick. Kick is basically the new, and I wouldn't say the new Twitch, but the new biggest competition with Twitch that there is. They are basically like the only competitor, really. They look exactly like Twitch. Their website looks just like Twitch. They're actually literally poaching the biggest streamers from Twitch to come over. They're already doing like $30 million deals and stuff. It's pretty crazy. So I was like, you know what? Why not do the podcast live on there? So the cool thing about Kick as well, in comparison to Twitch, you make your money from subscribers. So if you subscribe to a person's feed, you get no ads. And on Twitch, for example, if your subscription is say $5 a month, Twitch keeps 50% of it. So you get $2.50 from that. Well, Kick is the only one who is giving you like the most. They're giving you 95% of your money that you make. So if you guys all want to do me a favor and, have nothing better to do, or, want to watch me on Kick, go to kick.com/Sarah B. Morgan, subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff there. For now, I'm going to start doing my podcast live there when I do record, or try to anyway. I have my wonderful boyfriend here in studio with me, helping me today with this and getting everything all set up. I'm also experimenting for the first time today with video. If you end up seeing the video, then yay, it worked. If not, then I'm just talking about this and you'll never see it. And there you go. So here we go, guys. Let's jump into the Q&A. All right. So I'm going to just start by saying I haven't read any of these questions. I literally picked out a handful from a bunch of questions I had. I thought about 4 might be good. A lot of people ask me why my podcasts aren't longer, or like what is my reasoning for making them as long as they are. Well, I always think a podcast, or my podcast anyway, each episode, I want it to be in between like 15 and 45 minutes. And my reasoning for that is I'm not a huge podcast listener. The main reason I listen to them, or the most of the time when I listen to them, is when I'm at the gym or I'm out walking or running. I don't like listening to music out there sometimes, but if I have a good podcast to listen to, it's like a good story and it keeps me going on my running goals and like, it kind of like gets my head off of like how much I'm hurting and I just keep going. And so that's when I usually listen. But I'm also very ADHD and I don't like listening to a very long drawn out podcast. So that's what keeps them short for me. I'm like, this is the way my brain works. I don't want anybody else to have to listen to a super long, like drawn out episode. So I try to keep it a little shorter. So basically I thought 3 or 4 questions would be perfect. And again, I get a lot of trolls. I was actually thinking I should do an episode about that or, start reading troll comments that I get and giving like the background behind them or just reading them or whatever. And, but I also don't want that to like get me an influx of more people trolling me just to get on the episode. But to be honest, I could literally go back through all my old posts from the past few years and I would have like several episodes. Oh my God, y'all, the trolls are real. I know people say, well, if you don't want to deal with trolls, then don't get in the entertainment business. But it sucks. Trolls are not fun. I actually had a woman recently troll me, which doesn't happen often. It's usually men, in my case anyway. And this was an older woman, like in her 70s, she looked like. And all I could think about was like, I could never see like my mom or my grandparents or any of my like friends or boyfriends' moms like talking to anyone like this, like or saying these things. I don't understand it. But that is an episode for another time. So basically why I was saying that is I've not read these questions beforehand. I hope they're good. I hope they're not a-holy. So here we go. Let's get into our very first AMA Q&A question number 1 for the Sarah B Show. Woo! All right, y'all. Question number 1 comes from Brandon Fields. Will you unblock me from Instagram? Okay, let me just say, will you unblock me from Instagram? Crying emoji. I don't know why I was blocked in the first place. Thank you. I love the show. And don't hold back on the podcast. If you're unsure about getting dirty because family is listening, then you should start a Patreon or something and keep your main pod clean. I don't know, just a suggestion. Bye. Okay, first of all, my block list on social media, especially Instagram, is a novel. It's not just a list. It's a freaking novel. I block, oh my God, if you like look at me wrong, like if you put a dicky emoji, like I will block you. I take zero negativity. If you even say something that I even misconstrue the wrong way, I will block you. Like if you said something mean about somebody else, I don't want any mean people. I want nice and positive things on my pages. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like there's so many things that people have told me that I had a guy tell me like 15 years ago. Okay. It wasn't 15 years. It was like maybe like 11 years ago that I was hot, but my elbows were way too pointy. And I literally, my boyfriend's here in the studio nodding yes, so I guess it's a thing. I do have pointy elbows, but who notices that? I had on like a Wonder Woman outfit and I looked super hot and all this guy could talk about was how my elbows were too pointy, so I just wasn't good enough for him. And now all I think about all the time are my pointy ass elbows. Like it's a thing for me. Like it's really hard. So anyway, this stuff sticks with you, or at least sticks with me. So anyway, I don't know why I blocked you, Brandon Fields, but I feel like it was probably a good reason, even though you say you don't know why you were blocked at all. But I have to say, the fact that you reached out this hardcore to ask me to unblock you, I will go look. I honestly don't even know how to get to my block list on Instagram at this point, but I will go try to find you. But just a warning, if you say anything dicky or go at somebody else or go at my boyfriend or any of my friends or family, I will block you again and I will not unblock you unless it's like 10 years later and you ask me again and I forget who you are. That could happen. I like your idea about the Patreon. I actually have been thinking about that lately. I just know Patreons are a lot of work, but I know it's a good source of income. And I know my OnlyFans is a great source of income, but I know there's also a lot of people that don't want to get an OnlyFans, which is understandable. And they're like, we want to support you any way we can. So please get a Patreon. I'm not getting OnlyFans. So I'm thinking about it. I just want to make it worthwhile if I do it and make my tiers worthwhile. So I need to think of some options, even if I just did a couple, but I have a lot on my plate right now. I don't want to be spread too thin. I want to make sure it's something I can keep up with and do you guys good and not like cheat you out of money. I always feel guilty taking money from people. It's a thing. It's a thing. All right. Anyway, thank you, Brandon Fields, for reaching out. And that is our first. All right. First one was not so bad. Let's go to our next Q&A question. It comes from Ashton. I love that name, Ashton. Ashton, hello, Sarah. Your wit and charisma always brighten up my mornings, and I appreciate the entertaining content you bring to the airwaves. Keep up the fantastic work. Thank you, Ashton. You make me blush. It might be the alcohol. I don't know. 1, can you share any funny or interesting behind the scenes moments that happened during the show? I'm assuming you're talking about the Lex and Terry show that I work on. Any interesting or funny? And let's see. Number 2, can you share a travel story where you found yourself in an unexpected or thrilling situation? I wish I would have read these beforehand now a little so I could have had like a really good answer. All right, let's see. Number 1, funny or interesting behind the scenes show moments. There's so many. It's so crazy working in radio, all the crazy stuff that happens. Now it's a little less insane and spontaneous than it used to be. Now the Lex and Terry show is myself, Lex and Terry and Dee, the producer. So it's just 4 of us, and we're very spread thin within like all the stuff we're trying to do and get done on the commercial breaks. And so it's not a lot of time for goofing off or being crazy like it used to be. There's still its moments, but nothing that I can think of really crazy lately other than like, being in a studio with men that fart all the time and it's disgusting. I hate it. But used to when I first started with Lex and Terry, there were so many people. It was Lex, Terry, Dee, myself. There was Taint working here. Anthony, the camera guy. Alicia did behind the scenes stuff. Peter was a manager. Jason was the producer. I mean, there were so many people that worked here. And so there was stuff going on all the time. Taint used to put inappropriate backgrounds on the computers, and Terry would come in and get mad and be like, we're going to get fired if any of the bosses of the building see this. You need to change it. He would always watch like cake fart videos on commercial breaks, and they would watch the nastiest stuff, like just naked women sitting on cakes and farting. Like, why? God, that's such a guy thing. It really is. I remember one day there was we were interviewing BJ, I forget his name, BJ something from UFC or MMA back in the day, and during the interview, there was a giant cockroach that came in our little side studio, and we freaked out. So me and Dee and Taint ran out of there into the main studio while the guys were interviewing this MMA fighter and got so mad at us because we were creating like this big hubbub. It's crazy that you say this because I feel like more crazy stuff happens on the air than behind the scenes. Like the bikini stuff, putting bugs down my bikini for a lot of money, the Olympics kind of stuff. I'm trying to think. We used to do a lot of pranks as well. Like there was one time Terry put a bunch of hot sauce in Taint's hat or his beanie when he wasn't looking. And he was in the bathroom. And I, of course, found Taint's beanie and I was like, I'm going to put Taint's beanie on. And I did. So I got the hot sauce all in my hair. We're just always doing stupid stuff to each other. I'll try to think more on this. And God, I've worked with Lex and Terry since 2009. So the amount of content I could come up with, I swear to God, I will think of some more stories. Maybe I'll do a whole podcast episode on that. I've had more comments of people wanting me to talk about that, talk about the appearances that we do, life on the road with Lex and Terry, all that. Can you share a travel story where you found yourself in an unexpected or thrilling situation? I feel like that was kind of constantly. I have so many of those too. I could do a whole episode on that. There was one time in Mexico where a crew member told me about a restaurant to go to that was really good right off of the port. And they said, it's a great place to go, great Wi-Fi, great margaritas. Not a lot of tourists go there. You'd probably be the only person from the ship there. It's a great place to just relax and chill. And I'm like, that sounds great. So I get off. I don't speak any Spanish at that point. I still don't speak that much, sadly, except for all the music I listen to. But I asked the taxi driver about it. Well, it turns out it was right off the port. I didn't even need a ride, but there's 2 of them. There was one there and there was one on the other side of Cozumel. So this guy takes me like half an hour to this restaurant. I'm the only one in there. I have no idea where I'm at. I don't speak the language. There's no tourists on this side of the island. I ended up getting like the best food I think I had in Mexico ever. And great service. Everybody was so nice. The beaches over there were unbelievable because there's like nobody over there. And I just remember like talking to my mom and being like, if I don't make it back, just know that I am somewhere. I don't know. I'm okay right now. But that was an interesting moment. Oh, gosh, what else? There's so many crazy times. Oh, okay. I'll talk about this one. We had a hurricane. So there's hurricane season for cruise ships. And if there's a hurricane in your path or it gets too crazy, a ship will do overnights or they'll call it an overnight. So we had to do an overnight in Cozumel, Mexico as well, which is such a fun spot. And when they do an overnight, usually they'll dock. Guests are allowed to get on and off the ship as they want, and crew members can too if you don't have to work. So you can be off the ship literally all night in an actual destination and not on board, which is like next level fun. So we were in Cozumel and we all got off. Oh my God, the crew members took over. I think it was Three Amigos, which is, one of the super touristy bars right off the port. And like, I remember guests were complaining because crew members were just going so crazy, like stripping naked, dancing on the stripper poles, just like shots and shots and shots. I think they were probably rude to some guests too, because they're not at work and everybody's very drunk. We ended up taking a taxi to a nightclub. And when I have alcohol in me and at certain parts of my life, I can name drop and I feel pretty full of myself. So I told him there, I was like, oh, I'm a DJ on the cruise ship. We're docked here for the night. And he's like, oh, DJ, come. Come. Not that kind of come, y'all. So then he takes me upstairs while all my friends go into the clubs to get drink. And I went upstairs and there were 3 or 4 DJs up there and they're all mixing. There's all these TVs and he's like, here you go. So I got to see like where the DJs were, what kind of equipment they used. I met them all. The guy ended up at the end of the night giving me his card and offering me a job if I ever wanted to come DJ in Mexico, which was super cool. Oh, God, I have so many stories. There's some stuff about Mexico that involves peeing on people, getting stung by jellyfish, throwing up, $80 worth of Taco Bell. Oh, man, this is great. Ashton, thank you for this question because I'm going to save these stories. I'm going to do a whole episode about crazy travel times or overnights on cruise ships. So I will get back to you more on this, but at least I gave you a couple there. And thank you so much for your question.
Streaming now on Peacock. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are back.
That's hot. Loves it.
For a show-stopping reunion that will prove putting on an opera is anything but simple.
We're really good at this.
One thing's for sure, they won't be upstaged.
Good to have you back. Come on, we've got a show to do.
Paris and Nicole, The Encore, a 3-part reunion special. Streaming now, only on Peacock.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
All right, next up, question number 3. This question comes from Mike Heller. Heller, Mike Heller. Mike Heller. Hey, Sarah. Okay, I just got like a weird little kind of excited moment because I realized growing up I used to watch All That all the time, and Amanda Bynes on there, which I guess is not a comparison because she's kind of crazy now, which is sad. But that little show and skit she did. Ask Ashley, that's me. Hey, Sarah, that's me. I feel like nobody's going to get this reference and I should just edit this whole part out, but I'll just leave it in because I'm weird and I like that. Hey, Sarah, that's me. Love the show and wish you nothing but success. Quick background. I'm a retired military and have been listening to Lex and Terry since the 90s. I was actually deployed in 2009 listening via podcast during the week that you were hired. That is crazy. I was just reading this. I was like, 2009. That's when I started here. As an avid board game player, I tend to get more games than I can play and often have to downsize my collection. I have almost every Cards Against Humanity set released, and I have no more room for it. I know you are a fan, and if you have a use for them, they are yours. If you have a P.O. box or address to the Lex and Terry studio, I can ship them to you, not asking for anything. Just knowing it would go to a good home would keep me happy. Keep being you, just a listener, Mike Heller. Okay, Mike, first of all, thank you so much for your service. Thank you for everything you've done. I can't believe you were deployed the week I got hired. That's crazy. I feel like we're connected. And I'm also an avid gamer and board game player. And I would happily take these off of your hands. Not only would they go to good use, I would play them all the time. I love Cards Against Humanity. I have the main one and I think the Jewish pack that they did or something, but I would absolutely take these. I could go ahead and give the address here if you're going to listen. That would be the easiest. The address is 14,001 North Dallas Parkway, Suite 440, Dallas, Texas, 75240. I don't feel creepy giving that out because that is the address of the studio we record from, and it is public and everyone can get here and email it. You can also go to lexandterry.com and the email address is there. The studio address is there under Contact Us. But I would absolutely take these from you. If you want anything else like stickers or, something I can find around the studio for you, you could send in an addressed envelope. I could just send it right back to you. Even just some stickers would be cool. I could get the guys to sign them. And thank you again for listening and all the kind words. You were the best. Mike Heller, shout out to you. I adore you. Okay, guys, let's keep rolling. We have one more to go. This has not been bad. I really expected at least one troll in here, but instead I got great questions and really nice people. So the last one comes from, this is a great name, Bubba Walters. All right, let's open you. Bubba, let's see. Oh, I like the way this starts. Hey there, you sexy lady. I think when y'all do your phone fun on sudden death, that if you want to win every time, all you have to do is while you have them on the phone, act like you're trying to hide an orgasm. Nobody in their right mind would hang up on that. Anyway, I love y'all's show and you have a great day, beautiful. Okay, not a question, but a suggestion. I appreciate it. On the Lex and Terry show, we do have a after show we do called Sudden Death that is like kind of, I'd like to say X-rated, but I'll say uncensored is probably the best way. It can go any kind of way. Dirty, not dirty, cussing, whatever. We just kind of talk about anything we can't talk about on regular terrestrial radio. And we have a bit we do every week on there called Phone Fun. I have a character that I do. I told you guys that I really want to be on SNL. Saturday Night Live would be an absolute dream. So I've been trying to come up with characters. I have one that I came up with called, I just call her the crazy lady because I make her say that's crazy all the time. So basically, we call people, I talk to them as the crazy lady, and they don't hang up on me because I guess it's a likable character, but it kind of goes something like this. Hey, everybody, how are you today? And that's where it goes from there. It feels weird doing this on here. And everything I say, I'm like, what are your specials today? That's crazy. And anyway, I don't know why I feel shy. I think it's because my boyfriend's here staring at me, and he's never seen me do this character before. Are you turned on? Not at all. He said yes. All right. But that is a great idea, Bubba. I don't know. It depends. I feel like when I get a man to talk to, they don't hang up as much as women are pretty quick to hang up. So we will see. I will definitely try that for you and appreciate you messaging me. And all the kind words. You guys are so nice. I love it. I got so many nice people here today after I talked about how many trolls I get. So I love when I do a new episode of the Sarah B Show. I swear to God, I come up with like a million ideas for future episodes. So that's great. Anyway, a little shorter one today. I should have grabbed more questions, but nonetheless, a nice, good episode for you guys. A first Q&A. I was curious to see how it would go, but it went great. I really thought I was going to say, everybody's sending your questions, and I was just going to get a bunch of mean stuff like, you suck, or why are you still breathing? I'm serious. People can be very, very mean. So it's also been a really rough week for me. I told you guys I suffer with a little bit of anxiety and depression, and everybody's probably like, well, who doesn't? It's 2023, but I definitely go through episodes, and this week was a real tough one for me. And you know what? I was kind of going back and forth if I should do an episode about that. Like, nobody wants to hear depressing things, but I know me personally, I kind of feel better when I hear people open up and talk about that kind of personal stuff because, if I can relate to it, I'm like, I kind of feel better, like knowing that I'm not the only one going through it or feeling these feelings. But yeah, it's been a really rough week. I will just say that. So I will open up about that sometime soon and see if any of you go through the same stuff. We all have our highs and lows. Life is a roller coaster. Isn't that a song? I want to ride it all night long. The Highway. Isn't that a country song? Oh, I just know nothing today. I think it is. I think it's Rascal Flatts. And that's very funny that my boyfriend knows that because he hates country music. What a travesty. What a travesty. Anyway, just want to remind you guys to go to sarahbshow.com to listen to all my episodes there. You can subscribe on every platform. Once again, I am on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast, and also iHeart, which is crazy awesome. And I wanted to let you guys know as well, I am taking a vacation very soon. I feel like I haven't had a vacation in a very long time, which I have, but all my vacations have been going to cities, like big cities. And I'm the kind of person that I don't know where it came from. Like my mom, we always went on vacations forever when I was a kid, like as a family. And, as a kid, you don't plan anything. You just go on vacation. You show up, you have fun, whatever. Well, now I'm with a guy that kind of just shows up and still has fun and whatever. So I kind of feel like I've stepped in the place where I have to make all the plans, make all the reservations, like do this. And he doesn't even need any of that. My boyfriend doesn't, but I feel like I have to do it. It's like a weird new thing that's happened. So basically the last few vacations we've taken have been to Chicago, New York City, Seattle, Chicago again. It's all been big cities and it's been constant. Like a lot of it has been like a 3-day weekend. So it's like, okay, we got to fit everything in as much as we can. And we have to do this and this and this and this. And it's just been like hit the ground running, big city vacations. Like I don't think I've been to a beach or the ocean, which I love, since like 2020, maybe 2021. It's been a few years. So basically we're going to Hawaii in a little over a month. And I'm so stoked. We're going for 8 or 9 days, I believe it is. I've told you guys before, out of all the travels I've done on cruise ships and everything, my favorite place I've ever been is Hawaii. I used to think Hawaii was like stupid and overrated, having never been there. Just everybody talked about how great it was. I'm like, it can't be that great. It's just some like cliche place that people say they like. But no, it is that great. There's a reason people obsess over it. It is amazing. And my boyfriend has never been there. I have been a few times, working on cruise ships. So we're going to go to a few different islands there, hop around. I thought about not doing the podcast for like a month or taking a little hiatus, but I think I'll record one and post it right before, maybe take like a week or two off, and then I'll have a lot of great stories for you guys. But either way, I'll be all over social media, maybe recording some stuff out there to play for you guys when I get back. Who knows? But there you go. You can hit me up on social media if you guys want to comment on any of these episodes. Once again, you can go to sarahbshow.com, fill out the little contact us thing. You can leave your name or go anonymous. If you want to tell me I'm a stupid bitch, you can do that. Leave your name if you're gutsy, or just be anonymous, or be really nice and awesome like all these other people have been. So huge thank you again to everyone who left a Q&A question. I will definitely do another one of these. I'll try to do a Q&A at least, I don't know, about once a month, maybe like once every other month or something, but keep sending them in. I will stack them up and save them. Brandon, I will go look for your ass if I remember after these cocktails to go unblock you. If not, just keep spamming me. Just keep hitting me up under the contact me thing like every week, and eventually I'll get annoyed and unblock you. So there you go. Thank you guys so much again for listening. This has been such a fun progress to make with this podcast. It's been really great, and you guys are all awesome. So have a great week, and until next time, thanks for tuning in to The Sarah B Show. Mwah.